Ladies and gentlemen, the Nobel Laureate and Bharat Ratna Professor Amartya Sen.
Well, I'm absolutely delighted to be here, and of course, I won't protest, but Professor Randeva's introduction was, of course, overkind. I don't mind overkindness. It's all right. Thank you very much indeed. But I'm delighted that I'm here. We were getting pessimistic in the morning, leaving Delhi, which was so fog-bound. It wasn't quite clear whether the meeting is going to end before I arrive or not. So anyway, we have just beaten it by the skin of our teeth, I think. I'm going to talk about India and the IITs and its roles in particular. In the context of this meeting, it was suggested that might be a possible topic. And what I'm trying to do is to place the first bit of my points, which are historical, making a very general point. I want to be quite disciplined about it and read a number of pages because I have a tendency to stray when it comes to historical point, so adding things which I don't want to do, so that I have enough time left for the main point which I want to make, which will come after that. I believe that the discussion that will follow would be, there's a fair amount of time for that, and I'm very much looking forward to that because instead of giving a long paper and a short discussion, I would much prefer to do the latter. That is, to have a relatively short paper and a long discussion. Anyway, with that, let me start. In one of his whimsical remarks, Yogi Berra said, I quote, "The future ain't what it used to be." That remark may be quaintly fanciful, as Yogi Berra's utterances always were, but the point made here may provide some insight, the importance of which far exceeds whatever little amusing quality that remark might have. In looking to the future of the IITs today, it's useful to ask, what did the future look like when the IIT movement, and it's nothing short of a grand movement, began not long after India's independence? The idea of setting up these wonderful institutions of higher education in technology was mainly that of Jawaharlal Nehru, but there was also a long nationalist tradition behind that resolve, which is worth recollecting. National struggle was not only against the politics of the British Raj and the Empire, but also against India's backwardness in the contemporary age, in fields of technology particularly, and specialized skills and knowledge. Many such institutions of engineering and technical education were established across the country well before the IITs, going through the 19th, but particularly in the early 20th century. Many years ago, I had the opportunity of teaching at Jadavpur University, to which you made a reference. When it became a university, from having been an engineering college, this transformation occurred in 1956. That's when I was appointed there, for I was there for a couple of years. The engineering college in Jadavpur in Calcutta might not have ever quite achieved the grand technological heights of the later IITs, but the origin of that engineering college many decades earlier was motivated by the conviction of Indian nationalist leaders that the country must excel in technical knowledge and understanding to stand shoulder to shoulder with the rest of the world. India's technological self-confidence also needed to be built. Institutes of that kind sprang up across the country. Several of them started by the Tata family. There were many others too. and they were part of the struggle to take India beyond its colonial dependence. Nehru converted that somewhat sporadic and invariably variable movement into a solid and consistent mainstream of national policy in newly independent India, and that is where the IITs come from. It was very much in Nehru's line of thinking that education must be central to India's progress. I have to say that despite Nehru's moving rhetoric in favor of literacy for all, and now talking about schooling, that rhetoric, in fact, was plentifully present even in almost everything he said, even in his celebrated speech on the eve of independence on the 14th of August 1947, the speech on India's tryst with destiny, the one which is often quoted about in the context of the midnight, the midnight of the day of the independence, just preceding. But despite all those recurrent speeches, Nehru in fact did shockingly little for literacy. It is in fact hard to resist the thought that Jawaharlal Nehru did not really think through how to ensure the practical realization of his goal of literacy for all, in which he believed with sincerity and conviction, but which was not accompanied by any practical programmatic reasoning.